Not so fast, my friend. You don't have to deal with this on your own.
Send someone for me. He's the ambassador from Alakir. Did I mention that? Baron Montclair and his Argonian general, Rieseljul, attacked the nobles of Shornhelm. This is an outrage.
I prayed that I wouldn't be left to that lizard's torture. They poked and prodded me. I'm of House Tamrith. How dare they?
You know, I like to think I'm agreeable.
Horrible Argonian, Rieseljul, said he would turn me into a powerful creature. Why would I want that? Ah, sweet freedom. Thank you so much for coming to my rescue.
I'm surprised Baron Dorel didn't accompany you here. He's never been one to shy away from getting his hands bloody in defense of house and country. Shornhelm's stability affects all of Rivenspire. If Montclair and his allies take over the city, I fear all of Rivenspire would soon fall. And then they would look beyond our borders. He's always fancied himself the true heir to Rance's throne. I usually leave politics to the other nobles. I prefer to deal quietly with more unusual problems. As for the why of things, call it an obligation, but now is not the time to discuss the past. I suspected Rieseljul is behind that stone door, along with his people. We need to stop him from bringing through more reinforcements.
No time to deal with these fools. Kill them! Kill them all!
Off with you, Swit!
I can feel the magic. There's a portal close by. We need to close it before we're overrun by more Montclair soldiers. I should be able to close the portal. It won't take me more than a few seconds. There. That should keep them out. Shornhelm will be safe now. I shall begin my research at once, try to determine where Riz al Jul has gone. In the meantime, you should seek out the High King. With the portal closed, we stopped Riz al Jul from sneaking more Montclair troops into the city. It is frustrating, though, that Riz al Jul slipped away. That Argonian is sly and cowardly. No, and that's what worries me. He must be tracked down and dealt with swiftly. Thanks to your efforts, though, Montclair's plan to take control of Shornhelm has been stopped. You should inform High King Emmerich and the other nobles. According to my sources, he was close before I entered the Mews. I have no doubt that the Shornhelm Guard has reclaimed the upper city. I assume Dorel, Tamrith, and the High King are even now in Shornhelm Castle. Give Emmerich my regards.
Some people don't like the bustle of cities, but I come from a big family, so it reminds me of home.
I was just about to go in after you. Thought maybe you were stuck in a cage or something. Bunch of whiners, Montclair's troops. The moment we really pushed back, they broke off and demanded we accept their surrender. Dorel wants to execute the lot of them, but the Countess wants to consult with the High King. Too soft-hearted she is. Wanted to let you know that High King Emmerich has arrived. He's in Shornhelm Castle with the Baron and the Countess. Me? I think I might leave when this is all over. Join the Fighters Guild, see the world. Certainly could use the change.
Here we have the savior of Shornhelm, I presume. You should know that Baron Dorel and Countess Tamrith have been quite generous in their praise of you. I trust you were able to close this portal Montclair was using to bring in reinforcements? I'm not surprised. Verandis and I go back many years. He has a habit of making people nervous, but I've been trying to reassure Baron Dorel and Countess Tamrith he is loyal to the people of Rivenspire. Did you also defeat this Riz al Jul? Then I suppose we'll have to track him down, he and Montclair both. I fear Montclair's ambitions may be far greater than simply conquering all of Rivenspire. It's better we stop him now. Thanks to you, we have an excellent start here in Shornhelm, and I will devote my resources to fortifying the city as quickly as possible. We're secure here now, and we have to ensure it remains that way. Shornhelm may be secure, but reports from other parts of the kingdom suggest Montclair is stirring up trouble everywhere. Countess Tamrith and Baron Dorell will each take a detachment of the Shornhelm Guard and go investigate these reports. As you might have guessed, I'm thinking you are best suited for tracking down Rizal Jewel and making sure he doesn't go opening any more portals into Shornhelm. Did Verandis perhaps mention any suspicions of where this rat may have scurried off to? Then I suggest you join him. Knowing Verandis, he's returned to Ravenwatch Castle to study whatever evidence he may have found. You'll find it west of the city near the town of Crestshade. I'm counting on the two of you to stop Rizal Jewel, and soon. I should warn you, Ravenwatch Castle is as strange as the man who owns it. His family is very old and they have strange traditions. Don't worry, though. I have no doubt about the fact that he's on our side. You may rely on anything he says. Of course, I'm a veritable treasure trove of useless information, and I love to share. I've known Count Ravenwatch since I was a boy. My father even sent me to study with him for a time. House Ravenwatch is one of the oldest noble houses of Rivenspire. Quite a legacy, and Verandis carries it well. Well, if you must know, he's part of the reason I'm wearing this crown. When I first proposed to form the Covenant, many people opposed me. Verandis, however, without any urging, supported my plans and helped sway opinions in my favor. I think he did it because he was tired of bloodshed, and he knew he could trust me to always work toward peace. If I can end this conflict and restore it here, I will consider my debt to Verandis paid in full. As long as it takes. I knew that having the noble houses share the throne wouldn't last. I should have chosen one of them to rule years ago. To be honest, I feel I'm partly to blame for all of this, and it's my duty to be here and see it resolved. The last time I brought an army to Rivenspire, it was to put an end to Rancer's war. That isn't a memory I want to reawaken in this region. Besides, it will be better for all concerned if Rivenspire resolves its own problems. Rumors and wild tales, for the most part. We did receive a dispatch from a Captain Janavi. Apparently something occurred in the town of Crestshade. Something devastating enough to require the captain to set up a camp for refugees. Very little. It's a small town at the foot of the Western Mountains. Since you're heading in that direction to see Verandis, perhaps you can look in on Crestshade. I'd be grateful if you can determine what actually happened out there.
Baron Dorell can be so reckless. I fear that his approach will lead Rivenspire down a dangerous path. Of course, his style of leadership hardly matters if we can't put a stop to Baron Montclair. I sent my sister Genevieve to investigate reports of trouble in the west. She's a captain in the Shornhelm Guard, you know. I'm worried, though. She hasn't sent a report in quite some time. If the High King can spare me, I might ride out to meet her. She's always been rather lackadaisical about filing reports, but we did receive word that she had set up a camp for refugees. It's obvious something terrible is going on out there. I want to make sure she's all right. Not as close as we were. When I went to study in Stormhaven, Genevieve joined the Guard. We don't always see eye to eye, but we are sisters. I'm sure she's fine, but I wish I could get her to send dispatches on a regular basis.
Now that Shornhelm is secure, we can turn our attention to the reports coming in from the rest of Rivenspire. Something definitely unusual is going on out there. Damn! We have to find him. As long as he's at large, this region of Rivenspire is in terrible danger. Now, if I could just get the Countess to abdicate her authority to me, we'd put an end to this constant bickering and really get things done. Take counsel with the High King, of course. We've been hearing reports of an unusual number of blood fiends popping up throughout the countryside. That's just one more problem to add to our growing list of concerns. I'd prefer to be out in the field, but I expect the High King will send me where he will. At least my son Alec can manage House Dorel holdings while I deal with the broader concerns of Rivenspire.
I could use a break.
Something you need?
What to do with his time?
What a pleasant surprise. Don't blame me, my dear. I don't pick the fake names. If I'm Sigil, that makes you Arrowhead. It also makes you very late. Colleen's here? Well, that makes sense. When one of your spies turns on you, it's best not to spread it around town. King Faharajad would want someone he trusts. Seeing as you're here and she's not, I take it Colleen's gone missing? None save the old-fashioned kind. We'll talk to the city guards. If Colleen left Shornhelm, someone was bound to see her. You don't strut like her and not attract attention. If Naruk nicked her, we're in trouble. He's not a nice man. There's still a market for sensitive goods, and I'm doing well enough. Might even have enough for another ship soon if Telenil keeps working his magic. This job was supposed to put me over the top. Guess that'll have to wait. Mikog's off with Lambour. The whole relic fuss never sat right with him. Herden and Deragor are still with me, along with Telenil. We left Colleen's crew shortly after the Dominion hit Daggerfall. I like my sailing without giant fireballs. Funny story. Irian sends me letters. She says Jakarn's taken a fancy to me. She says he even wrote me a poem. I told him flat out I wasn't interested, but that seemed to have the opposite effect. He's turned into a lovelorn fool, Irian says. The man is easy enough on the eyes, but I'm not looking for a fling right now. Jakarn may think he's in love, but I know his kind too well. We'll see if he's still interested when I have my own ship. Oh yes, Vimy sends letters. She's quite the gossip. Naralmo's dig off Stonefall's dried up,
but he found mention of ruins in the Alakir Desert, so he's headed there next. I've never understood what's so interesting about a bunch of missing dwarves. He's got a mess of sworn swords camped in the sewer beneath Shornhelm. Children of Yokuda. They're planning something nasty. I was going to sell my info to Arrowhead, but now that you're here, I seem to be working for free. Shame, really.
Selling, buying, trading right here.
Wonderful day for a blood fiend attack. What can I do for you, citizen? I did see a woman like that. Hard to miss her. Strode up the road like she owned the place. She came back shortly with another Redguard, shifty-eyed sort, spoiling for a fight. I confronted them, but the woman assured me everything was fine. They headed for Shornhelm. Didn't watch them after that. My eyes stay on the roads nowadays. Never know when a blood fiend will want a snack.
Dark times are upon us, friend. My family struggles to survive while our beloved nobles bicker ceaselessly about the most meaningless things. I tell you, just the thought of it makes my stomach want to heave. Don't recall, but if you're looking for someone, you should go roust lazy Ludipi. He never misses a coin purse.
With all the recent trouble, these streets aren't safe at night. You should be careful and keep a hand on your gold pouch. I did see a couple now that I think of it. Don't see too many Redguards in Shornhelm. They went up the eastern road.
I heard that someone entered the Black Forge and shut it down. That should slow down the Dark Lord's
Didn't do it. Whatever it was. Oh, I might have seen them, sure. But maybe I didn't. Memory's not so good anymore. Oh, hi. That'll do it. They went inside the house behind me and didn't come back out. Seeing as the house is abandoned, you make of that what you will.
Oh, I'll handle that. I do love playing with locks.
Only the finest wares here.
See you below. Damn it! That's Colleen. See to her. I'll keep watch.
me walk out of here, and then we'll deal with Naruk. Naruk saw through me. I'm not cut out for spycraft. He had questions, and figured torture would loosen my tongue. He doesn't know me very well. He didn't tell me, but I saw barrels of poison and a sewer map. He's going to poison the water below Shornhelm. He wants to start a war, force King Faharajah to conquer the Bretons and Orcs. In his twisted way, he's doing what he feels is right for Alakir. Let's kill him, shall we?
Captain! What happened?
Easy, Nicolene.
You're
I'm
not
fine.
fine. Who did this to you? I'll kill them.
Get me a healing potion, and we'll kill them together.
Fine. Drink this, now!
Oh, much better. Oh, that's better. The sewer's beyond the Fighters Guild. I saw it on his map. Follow me, there's no time to waste. Naruk can't be far. Go after him. We'll stop the poison. Lock the cistern gates. We'll keep them off the winch. Watch your back, Nicolene.
I am. I'm also watching yours. Don't...
To be remotely fun.
Murder these sons of dogs. Drinks are on me. I knew you'd be back. I also know Naruk is dead. Thank you. Yet again, you've stopped a threat to the city and the Covenant. Without Naruk, the children of Yakuta will crumble. No one can say King Faharaja did not deal them justice. The Daggerfall Covenant is safe, and so am I, thanks to you. Now, have a drink with us and celebrate our victory. Nicolene and I will be headed back to the Sentinel soon enough. Until then, you should stay and have a drink with us.
I'm not sure I can ever forget what happened to my brothers because of what you did, but you saved Colleen. You saved Shornhelm too. I can't discount that. I guess we'll just have to learn to live with each other.
I suppose saving a city is worth a drink.
Selling, buying, trading, right here.
Nice hole.
Can never have enough of that.
It's you! Good to see you, mate. It's been a while since Shrieking Scar. Sorry I didn't see you coming. I'm busy keeping an eye out for harpies, and those puny Breton brothers. You've already forgotten the Remley brothers, eh? I wish I could. The three of us were hired to drive off the harpies infesting the cliffs. Armel and Balin are supposed to be setting up traps, and I'm here to protect the village while they work. If I had to guess, yes. I just don't know what's taking them so long. They've been out there for hours. Could you help out your old friends? Go look for them? I'd go myself, but I've got to keep watch here. Once you find those trap wizards, get them back here on the double. We've got to let the Elder know how we're doing. She's been waiting on our progress report. And between you and me, I think she's getting a little impatient. My pleasure. I can talk to you and watch for harpies at the same time. We're really proving ourselves here, I think. Proving our worth as sellswords. Or we would be if those two morons weren't ruining everything. A little village of horse nomads. The place is called Silverhoof Vale. Their elder tried to tell me all about her love for the herd mother, and yeah, my eyes just kind of glazed over when she got to the part about talking horses. The Fighters Guild has stopped doing one-shot contracts, right? Off on some grand quest to kill the Daedra. So we have a chance to make a name for ourselves. Critters like these harpies are still causing trouble. That's where we come in. Well, we're still working out the particulars, mind you. If you join the Fighters Guild, you get all that armor and weapons and training. We just have the Remley brothers and my bad attitude to rely on. Shornhelm. We're always on the lookout for the next job, right? Gelvin decided we had this well in hand. So he and that sister of his set out for the city. Wish he was here now to keep those two knuckleheads in line. A job here, a job there, the usual. We're no longer called the Daggers, though. Seems a mysterious someone had a claim to the name and didn't want it tarnished. A threatening note and near-death experience later, we dropped the name. Right, we actually get harpy jobs pretty frequently. Seems we have a bit of a reputation for being competent against harpies, and that's all because of your help. Yeah, those gems got us by long enough to get another job. It helped that revealing his scheme actually made us more popular among the locals.
Hey, you! Help me out of this mess. Come on, help me out of this mess. I've been stuck for hours. By accident, of course. These things are delicate, tricky. One false move and snap, I'm caught. Now my arm's asleep and my back is killing me. Can we get on with the rescue? Does it look like I have a choice? Make it quick already. Those harpies are looking at me like I'm a 3-course meal. Thanks, I guess. Armel and I were trapping the whole gully. These things are designed to go with our scent lures. But as I said, they're very finicky to set up. Bah, Armel's a moron. His design's clearly faulty. If you hadn't shown up... Right. We put down these scent barrels. They draw the harpies in and they get caught in the traps. Simple, or so he said. I've already wasted too much time out here. I need to report in to Bumnog. Hey, would you be willing to help me out? Place the rest of my traps. You'll know where to put them. Armel went ahead of me to place the scent barrels, just like the one here. Put the traps with the barrels, and keep watch for my brother. And be careful. Don't want you ending up like me. Oh, yes, of course. How have you been? We're fine, mostly. We're doing the best we can, anyway. Still in the harpy business, just like the old days. Do they? They're not, you know. We deserve better than what Lord Deal was going to do by us, didn't we? I didn't recognize you until you mentioned it. Good to see you again. Imagine, meeting up after all this time. Can't you tell? Listen, I've got to get back to Bumnog. While you're out here, see if you can find that brother of mine.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunity. Whew, that was a bit of a warm-up. Know how to scrap.
Oh! Crazy birds trying to kill... I thought it was going to be dinner. Thanks. I'll see you back at the village.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic hunting.
What is it?
Are you telling me you've made absolutely no progress on the contract we signed with you?
It's Armel's fault. His stupid trap malfunctioned again.
It's not my fault. Those harpies are crafty and bloodthirsty.
Is that why you reek? What is that smell?
The harpies, they're here. The scent lure on these two brought the whole flock down on us.
We need to wash this stuff off before the harpies get us. To the pond!
Please, go with them. The villagers and I will hide from the beasts.
Our herds are our livelihood. Without them, we would surely perish.
Can never have enough of that.
Get ready! Here they come!
Never used to fight this much, until I met you.
Could someone get my back, please?
I'm scrubbing as fast as I can!
Could someone get my back, please?
Brothers for the harpies. Women need love too.
Good eye. I never would have spotted that.
Believe it or not, I think we solved their harpy problem. Nice work. Let's get back to the village and check in with the Elder. Hey, over here. Just a moment, before you go inside. Before you go in, I need to talk to you. The village elder. She's not sure we did any work. And look, I know we messed up a little. And you helped us out, a lot. But we're trying to build a reputation here. And most of our jobs don't go like this. So could you stretch the truth? Whoa, whoa. Lie is such a strong word. We set out traps, and the scent lures worked just as they were supposed to. And most of the harpies are gone now, right? So everything worked out, after a fashion. If she doesn't think we met our end of the contract, the Elder won't pay us. And she'll probably spread the word that we're idiots. Eventually, we'll starve to death. Is that what you want? For all of us to starve? I vowed that I would always face my opponents as an equal. If an enemy came at me with a sword, I would meet his blade with one of my own. The harpies fight with claws. How could I go up against them with anything more than the fists nature gave me? Sharp and natural. They don't wield weapons, so neither will I. I will fight them head-on, fists against claws, and I will do so with honor.
You're the only one who isn't a member of this group. Perhaps you will speak truly.
The contract specifies they must do the work promptly and effectively. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. Did they do anything worth paying for? You're not part of their group, as I said. I'm not trying to cheat them. I just want to know if they did what they said they would. Is their effort here today worth our hard-earned gold? If only we'd known we could have hired you instead of them. I'm sure they mean well, but I've never seen such incompetence before. We do not have much, but please take this as a token of our gratitude. According to the contract, you were to complete the project without additional help.
What? Maybe we didn't work in a conventional way, but we got rid of the harpies.
In accordance with our contract, your pay goes to the one who did the work, not to you.
Gelvin is not going to be happy when he hears this. Get off your arses, boys. Go take down those traps. We don't need them anymore.
But Bumnog, we just finished setting them up!
I get to take down the pots. It's your turn to get caught up in those nets.
I've got to figure out what I'm doing next. Gelvin and his sister are going to kill me for screwing this up.
We will escort these men to our border. They are not as skilled as we were led to believe, and I'll be sure to let this be known. You betcha!
If you're going to kill bugs, at least kill fetcher flies.
If you're headed to Crestshade, you need to know. There was trouble there.
I need to get to Shornhelm. A bit of bruising and a few broken ribs won't stop me from getting my report to Shornhelm. I've got to let my superiors in House Tamrith know what happened at Crestshade. Crestshade's a small mountain town. Captain Genevieve heard some alarming rumors and sent us to investigate. Turns out a mad Argonian came out of Doomcrag and unleashed a blood curse on the town. We sent refugees from the town south to meet Captain Genevieve at Camp Tamrith, but the mayor of Crestshade refused to leave. Said she had to save her people. She begged us to warn Shornhelm. If she's still alive, she could use some help. I'll feel better knowing I didn't leave the mayor of Crestshade completely on her own. Remember, head into town and look for the mayor's house. I think Crestshade is doomed. Some of the refugees kept going on and on about a flesh-eating abomination. I'm not easily frightened, but whatever is loose in Crestshade, it made my skin crawl. Yes, calls himself Rezel Jewel. A real charmer, that one. He sent rocks tumbling down the mountain to seal the pass to Doomcrag, managing to destroy half of Crestshade in the process. Then he unleashed a blood curse on the town. He's insane. Me? No, not personally. But I heard stories. It's some sort of freakish creature, cobbled together from living bodies and feasting on the blood of the townsfolk. At least that's the way I heard it described. Be careful in there. I need to get to Shornhelm and give my report.